They left me at the mall right before Christmas dinner. When I called, Mom whispered, "Oh no, we thought you were in the other car." So I started walking. An hour later, my sister sent a message, but it wasn't meant for me. Oh my gosh, it worked. We finally left him at the mall like we planned. I texted back, "Brilliant." Then I froze the $2,800 grocery account, blocked their house access and took back the Christmas tree. And that was just my first move. They forgot me at the mall. It was Christmas Eve. The parking lot was almost empty, just wet pavement, flickering streetlights and a cold wind that felt personal. I stood near the exit holding 2 grocery bags they had asked for. My hands were numb. One bag was tearing, cream leaking through the bottom. The wine bottles clinked quietly every time I moved. My phone buzzed. It was Mom. Her voice was low, like she didn't want anyone to hear. "Oh no, we thought you were in the other car." That's all she said. No asking where I was. No stay there. Nothing. Just silence, like I didn't exist. I didn't shout, didn't cry. I just stood there under a street lamp, listening to the wind push a shopping cart into a snowbank. They knew I didn't have my car. The brakes weren't working. I sent them the repair bill. Jenna said she'd pick me up after getting the boys. I thanked her. I even called myself stupid for trusting her. So I walked, through the cold, through the slush and dirty snow. My coat was thin. My socks were soaked. The cranberry sauce in my bag pressed into my ribs. It was almost a 1-hour walk home. Halfway there, my phone buzzed again. A message, but it wasn't meant for me. It was from Jenna. Oh my gosh, it worked. We finally left him at the mall like we planned. I stopped walking. Snow fell down my collar. I read the message again. Then I replied, "Brilliant." No smiley face. No punctuation. I kept walking. Reached my apartment around 6:40. Not their house. Mine. I dropped the bags, took off my gloves and sat down. The heater hissed. The room smelled like burnt dust. I opened my banking app, found the shared grocery account and froze it. $2,847.28 gone. Then I locked them out of my apartment system. Removed their names, blocked their numbers from the door camera. They'd find out soon. Last thing, the tree. Their tree, but I bought it. Set it up on their porch because Dad's back hurt and the boys had school. I borrowed my neighbor's car, drove over quietly, unplugged the tree ornaments and all, tied it to the roof and left. Nobody noticed. They were probably inside, laughing, drinking the wine I bought, thinking I'd show up tomorrow. With dessert, with forgiveness. I didn't. But that wasn't the real story. That was just the start. What came next, that was the real move. I stayed home that night. Didn't answer their calls. I sat by the window. Watched someone else's Christmas lights blink. And for the first time in years I let myself remember, not just tonight but everything before. I got my first job at 15. Not because I wanted to, but because someone had to. A run-down diner. Plastic booths. Bad coffee. A bell on the kitchen door. I worked 4 nights a week, then 6 when school started. My manager called me reliable. He didn't know I couldn't afford to miss a shift. That fall I bought my own winter coat. Jenna got a North Face from Mom. I never complained. Just wore mine until it broke. At 16 I helped with rent. At first just a little. Then groceries. Then the phone bill. Then gas. Jenna needed braces, I helped pay. Mom called me sweet. Jenna never said thanks. Just smiled with her new teeth in the Christmas photo. I paid for that photo too. 17 I skipped prom. Not because no one asked, but because I picked up a shift. They needed the hours. I needed the money. To fix the dryer. Paid the car insurance. Jenna had backed into a mailbox again. At 18 I was used to being invisible. Only noticed when something broke. College wasn't a dream. It was an escape. I stayed in-state, took the bus, worked mornings, studied afternoons, waited tables at night. Slept when I could. Jenna went to a fancy school 2 hours away. He dropped out after a year. Said it was too much stress. Mom said she was listening to her body. Dad said he respected her boundaries. After that, I stopped talking at dinner. Nobody even noticed. When I was 21, I moved into a small basement apartment. The ceiling had mold. The heater didn't work. I covered it with a blanket and told myself it looked cool, like I chose this. I told myself life wasn't supposed to be better than this anyway. That same winter Mom got pneumonia. The hospital bills weren't too bad, but the medicine wasn't covered. I paid for it quietly over the phone. Told the pharmacist to put her name on it. Mom never asked how I managed. She just said, "You're a blessing." I lived inside that blessing. I paid for it every month. 23, Jenna was dating a guy who loved camping. She posted a picture of their new tent and wrote, "Some people just show up and make life easier." She didn't tag me, but I had sent her $800 that week because her car was acting up again. I knew I should stop helping. But stopping would mean facing the truth. At 25, I was paying for rent, groceries, the water bill, my student loans, their heating. Jenna's new phone, she broke hers again. Said she needed it for work. I didn't even ask where she worked anymore. At 26, they started calling me stable like it was a compliment. Dad told a cousin, "She's solid, you can always count on her." They didn't know that month I had to choose between groceries or going to the dentist. I picked groceries and bought extra for their house too. They didn't ask. They just expected it now. Mom once said she was proud of how I always stepped up. Like it was just my nature. Like it wasn't survival. At 27, Jenna moved back home. Said she needed space to heal. She brought her dog, the one she couldn't afford. He tore up the couch. I paid to replace it. No one asked me to. No one tried to stop me either. That spring I got a small promotion. More hours, no extra benefits. I used the little raise to fix their roof leak. I didn't even live there anymore. But I kept calling it home, like that made sense. At 28, I stopped by with groceries. Same list as always. Almond milk, eggs, butter, cheese, Jenna's favorite cookies. She wasn't home. Mom opened the door and said, "Oh, I forgot you were stopping by." I just stood there with the bags. I didn't say anything. What was the point? At 29, I took my first weekend off in 2 years. Went hiking alone. No phone service. No updates. When I came back, there were 12 missed calls. The fridge broke. The eggs spoiled. The thermostat wasn't working. Jenna had a job interview and couldn't handle the stress. I sent them the money from a gas station bathroom on the way home. No one said thanks. They just said, "I knew you'd come through." That line stuck in my head. I knew you'd come through. Not "we appreciate you." Not "you've done enough." Just "of course you did." At 30, I was handling their bills more than my own. Groceries, utilities, the dog's flea meds. I had a calendar for them. Not for me. I even missed my dentist appointment that year. Jenna posted a picture with the dog at the lake. "Grateful for peace, for space, for people who just get it," she wrote. No tag. But I still paid the water bill that month. That winter, their boiler broke. It cost $2,100. I had been saving for a little trip. Just a quiet cabin. Some rest. I canceled it. Told myself maybe next year. They never asked how I got the money. They never asked anything. That's what hurt the most. Not the money. Not the silence. But the way they assumed I'd always be there. That I didn't need anything. That I didn't matter. They never erased me on paper. But they erased the part of me that felt like a person. And that stayed with me even after the snow melted. Even after the bills were paid. Even after I kept telling myself next year will be different. It wasn't. Not until the mall. Not until the bags. Not until the voice message, and the plan they never told me about. Until I found out. It started small. I stopped replying to the family group chat. The one disguised as conversations but full of grocery lists. "Hey, does anyone have time to grab paper towels? Mom's crackers are on sale. Need wine again?" I read them. I didn't reply. At first, they followed up with question marks. Then with little jokes. Then, silence. They weren't worried. Just confused. They thought I was busy. Or tired. Or in one of my moods. They didn't realize I was done. When the only reason people care about you is because you're useful, your silence feels like bad service to them. I waited 3 days. Then I opened my banking app. I stopped the automatic payment for their electric bill. Froze the heating account. Removed my card from the grocery deliveries. By Thursday they noticed. Jenna texted, "We're out of eggs. Did you switch accounts or something?" I didn't reply. Friday Mom sent a message. "The thermostat isn't working. Can you check if the payment went through?" I didn't even open it. Saturday morning Dad called. I let it ring. Then I listened to the voicemail. "If there's a problem, just say something. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." That stuck with me. Like I was the one making life hard. Like me stepping back was the problem, not everything they'd done for years. By Sunday, Jenna came to my apartment. She knocked like it was a favor, not a fight. When I opened the door, she didn't smile. just held up her phone. You froze the card? She asked. I didn't answer. He tried to walk in. I didn't move. She stayed outside. She changed her tone, tried to sound calmer. Mom's upset. The kids noticed the tree is missing. What exactly are you trying to prove? I stayed still. The other car, I said. She opened her mouth like she wanted to argue, then closed it. She left without saying another word. That night, I opened our shared family photo album, the one where I uploaded all the holiday pictures, wrote the captions, organized the memories. I deleted every photo I had ever added. 47 pictures gone in seconds. No warning. No explanation. I watched the little icon spin, then stopped checking for a reply. The next morning Mom called. This time I answered. Her voice was calm, practiced fake. We didn't mean to hurt you. It was just a miscommunication. Things got busy. I stayed quiet until she kept talking. You're making this a bigger deal than it is. I almost laughed. Instead I asked, what exactly was the plan? She didn't answer. Just sighed that tight, tired mom sigh and said, we thought you'd understand. I hung up. No more words. Just silence. The quiet kind that feels clean, not heavy. That's when I made it final. The silence came first. Not like an apology, like a space. I woke up with no alarm. No texts. No reminders to pick things up for them. No little requests disguised as conversations. Felt strange. Then it didn't. I made coffee. Let it burn. Drank it anyway. No podcast. No music. Just the hum of the fridge and the old radiator knocking now and then. I sat by the window. Didn't check the weather. Didn't check the grocery app. Didn't open the family calendar full of things they needed. That used to be my whole morning. Now it was quiet. I let it stay that way. The first week I didn't do much. Just existed. Slept through the night. Ate at the table, not at my desk. Did my laundry and folded it the same day. Watched the water spin in the machine like I actually had time. It felt soft but heavy. Like air that moved but stayed cold. On day 4 I opened the family grocery list. It was still there. Last edited by Jenna. At the top it said, milk, eggs, almond butter. Thanks as always. I stared at it. Then deleted it. Not out of anger. Out of relief. They didn't call. Not yet. But they posted. First Mom. A photo of the porch. The empty hook where the wreath used to hang. Sometimes you give everything and it's still not enough. 39 likes. 3 hearts. 1 comment. Thinking of you. Some people don't understand sacrifice. No names. But I knew. Next day Jenna posted. A picture of her boys beside the outlet where the tree lights used to plug in. It's hard to explain disappointment to kids when you don't understand it yourself. I closed the app. Didn't open it again. Then came the knock. Aunt Lori. Uninvited. Unannounced. Wearing her church coat, holding a tin of cookies. With that look people wear when they've already chosen a side but pretend they haven't. I'm not choosing sides, she said as she stepped inside, which always means they already did. She didn't take off her coat. Just sat on the edge of my couch, looking around like she was judging the damage. Your mom's been sick over this. Jenna says you've been ignoring everyone. The boys are confused. I nodded. Offered her tea. He took it. Didn't drink it. This isn't like you, she added softly, like I'd been replaced by someone else. As if setting boundaries meant something was wrong with me. 15 minutes later, she left the cookies on the counter. Told me to think about what really matters. I didn't throw the cookies out. But I didn't eat them either. That night, I opened the holiday photo folder again. Deleted every picture I had uploaded. Hundreds of photos. Organized, edited, captioned. Gone. Not to punish them. To take back my time. The next day Mom messaged. The lights won't connect. Is the system down? I didn't reply. Another one followed. We can't open the front gate. Did something reset? Still nothing. Then Dad. I hope this isn't about the mall. It was a misunderstanding. That word. I read it 3 times. Didn't answer. And I never planned to. 3 hours later Jenna texted again. It was just a screenshot of the electric bill. It was due in 5 days. I'm assuming you'll handle this. I didn't reply. I just archived the message. The next morning someone slid an envelope under my door. Inside was the gas bill and a note. We know you've always helped. Just this once more. I flipped the note over and wrote back. What's one more when it's already been a lifetime? I dropped it in their mailbox. I didn't knock. I didn't wait around. That afternoon Jenna sent a photo. Her boys sitting under the window, one holding the unplugged tree lights. They said it doesn't feel like Christmas anymore. I looked at it for a moment. Deleted it. Turned off my phone. By the end of the week the silence changed. It wasn't quiet anymore. It was restless. They weren't confused this time. They were worried. Because I hadn't come back. No sorry. No, I just needed space. Only my silence, and I wasn't rushing to break it. Mom left a voicemail. We made mistakes. But family forgives. That's what this season is about. I let the message sit there unread. The next day I found a drawing under my door. Crayon stick figures. One was labeled Uncle. Come back please. We miss you. I sat on the floor. Read it 3 times. Then folded it and put it in the drawer with the things I don't know how to throw away. I got up. Let it sit. Didn't touch my phone. Didn't check their messages. I knew they were probably still waiting. But I wasn't. Not anymore. I didn't go back. Not for New Year's. Not when they posted a family photo. Everyone smiling in front of a half-decorated tree. Not when Aunt Lori texted. She's not well. Maybe you could just send a message. I didn't open the message. Just archived it. Some things don't deserve a reply. I spent New Year's alone by choice. Made pasta. Opened wine I didn't have to share. Sat on the floor with a blanket and watched the countdown on mute. At midnight the neighborhood filled with fireworks. I didn't go outside. I stayed put. Listened to the noise. It didn't shake me this time. 2 days later I walked to the bookstore. Bought a simple planner. No fancy covers. No cheesy quotes. Just blank pages. On the first page I wrote, "You don't owe answers to people who ignored the questions." That became my rule. The next morning I cleared out the kitchen drawer. The one full of their bills. Old prescriptions. Grocery lists. Sticky notes like, "Don't forget Mom's crackers." And wine for Dad, not the cheap kind. I shredded everything. Even the notes in my own handwriting. Even the one Jenna left years ago after I paid her rent. "Thanks. You're the best." I stared at that one for a while. Then shredded it too. No one called that day. Or the next. Then a package arrived. No name on it. Just plain brown wrapping. Inside was the tree topper I bought 2 Christmases ago. It was stuffed in tissue paper, not folded nicely. Just crumpled like guilt. No note. Just silence. I held it for a moment. Turned it over. Then placed it in the drawer with old receipts and things I didn't need but wasn't ready to throw away. Not because I wanted to keep it. But because I didn't want to carry it anymore. That was the difference now. I didn't fight to be seen. I didn't chase their silence. I didn't explain myself to the stories they told others. Let them think I was cold. Let them call me distant or difficult. Cost them less than hearing the truth. And I was done paying other people's costs. That week I bought a small fake tree for myself. It wasn't Christmas. It didn't matter. It was green. It didn't ask for anything. I made soup. Same recipe. A little more salt. Ate it with bread. I didn't burn it this time. I slept early. Woke up to daylight. Looked in the mirror. I didn't see someone struggling to hold it together. I saw someone standing still. I didn't wish for everything to be fixed. Didn't pray for it at all. But I whispered, "Thank you." Not to them. To the moment. To the quiet. To the version of me I kept losing to grocery lists, forgotten rides and endless bills. She's not lost anymore. She's home.